type.
But again, we can compare Fauna Shaman in a way to something like Cultivate, where it's not seeing all that much play in the top tier
Before
decks.
we get to the match, Steel Overseer, it's about the last one, and let's get to our match though, where we have Jonathan. I'm gonna mess this one up.
I'll let you go with it.
Wdowiasz playing Cawblade, kind of a Hero Blade Cawblade, and Paul Serignes playing Blue-Red Splinter Twin again.
Yeah, so this is very similar to the last round we saw, even as far as where the players are sitting. Call on the right and Splinter Twin on the left. Let's see if these guys can manage to play fast enough to get an actual winner.
Well, interesting, when you talked about that draw last round, and you said at one point, and there he is, Jim Davis, making sure his land's lined up straight before he continues.
Right.
I mean, if he had not been so meticulous about his lands, he
may
would have won that
one.
match.
Yeah, how much time did he actually need left? You know what I mean? They got one more turn.
Halimar Depths, and then on Jonathan's side, we see a Preordain. Another Preordain in his hand, a Seachrome Coast in his hand. Lays the coast, casts a second Preordain, another coast already in his hand. Looks like he reveals a land and something. I couldn't catch what the other one was. Draws a fresh card, does not like either of those two cards, gets rid of them.
Was it a Blade Splicer potentially?
Might have been.
Yeah.
Paul lays a Arid Mesa, cracks it, gets a mountain.
You sure about that? Might get a Plains.
Fair. But he got a mountain. Oof.
No Plains in the deck. He did have the option though. If he wanted to include a Plains in the deck, could have gotten it with an Arid Mesa. So.
Casts Shrine of Piercing Vision.
So we know Shrine of Burning Rage is really good. Shrine of Piercing Vision is the only other shrine I'm seeing see play. I've heard the white one's good though too.
The white one is useful. I know Ari had talked about it as a sideboard option for the Hawkward style decks. And there's the Blade Splicer. 2 bodies, a 1/1 and a 3/3. 4 power for 3 mana.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
2 creatures too. That's even better. The cool thing about the hero versions, is specifically like Blade Splicer, is that those 1/1 actual splicers can pick up swords and be formidable on their own, while there's a 3/3 first strike that it came with it. I just feel like playing the splicers alongside equipment is pretty ideal.
Paul draws. Does a hand check. I'm guessing there was an a question of, did you draw twice? I don't think he did. It looked like it was just a single draw to me.
There's a ponder.
There's the ponder I like. I think, what's that, the full moon, new moon, half moon ponder?
Yeah, I guess so. Trying to decide which moon you prefer.
I think it's actually how long you're thinking something over.
Yeah, maybe. It's been 28 days, the full cycle of the moon.
It's only 14 days. 14 days for a decision.
That's why they drew last. And a Grim Lavamancer. That is a foil. I want to say that's probably the Fire and Lightning version. That could just be an M12 foil for sure, but
I bet you it's Fire and Lightning.
I would think that that's more likely. They were on sale at Target. They were half price recently. They must not have sold very well, and I definitely bought one. They only had one there when I saw it, so I bought one. But still all in the box. I probably should crack it open and trade, since I don't really like the foils anyway. I just saw that it was half price. Figured it was a good.
In the attack for 4 damage. It's going to be another Preordain. Preordain number 3 here from Jonathan. Oh, he's reconsidering. Yeah. It's like, maybe I can do something else and save this Preordain for later in the game. Okay, 2 mana, Squadron Hawk?
Yeah.
There we go. A little bit more value out of a Preordain after you Hawk. This way, if you cast the Hawks first, if both of your cards are good, you don't have to get rid of one of the good cards.
Yeah, and less likely to see a Hawk off of a Preordain, which is something you don't really want to see.
He might just go land second Hawk here as well. And just try to fill up the board with damage. Oh, but it comes into play tapped land. And preordain. Looks like a Blade Splicer and a Tectonic Edge.
Yes, definitely Tech Edge.
Both on top. Perfect example of what we were talking about there.
Yeah.
Leaves the Tectonic Edge to get to his hand. Says go. Shrine goes up to 3. Grim Lavamancer gets turned around so that it can be read. And it gets turned back. I've read it.
He asked him what expansion it was from. He said, oh, it's from Fire and Lightning. I want to see the symbol. Oh, cool. Okay.
It's probably it, actually.
It may have been, because...
Grim Lavamancer sits, hanging out.
No reason to activate it during your own turn in this particular situation. Right now, he's only got 2 cards in the yard, so... although he does have... Is that 2 Scalding Tarns? Yeah, so he can... He's got 2 activations available.
Tectonic Edge hits the table. Attack. Here these guys come. Take 5. Another... Oh, there we go. Halimar Depths being smacked down by a Tectonic Edge.
Scalding Tarn cracked from Paul. I'm guessing, is he going to Deceiver Exarch here? Oh, cracks the other. Do we see Mountain? No, Island, okay. Guess that makes sense considering he's losing his Tech Edge, so...
Deceiver
yeah,
Exarch.
There's the Exarch. Appears that he's getting that Exarch mana leaked. And... Paul in a tight spot here. 8 life. Yeah, there's a little bit of discussion of a timing here, I think. Is there... Yeah, there's definitely a discussion. I'm not sure if it's a judge call or not, but...
I think it's the Shrine. When does the Shrine have the counter? Because maybe he'll want to pop the Shrine in order to dispel it, the mana leak.
Right, but I think... I kind of...
The mana leak has been put back in Jonathan's hand.
Yeah, that's what's kind of odd. Okay, so the Exarch is now resolving after triggering, putting a counter on the Shrine. The Exarch resolves, taps the Colonnade, and now the Tech Edge resolves, which of course the Tech Edge has been in the graveyard for about 5 minutes, and the Halimar Depths finally goes to the graveyard.
Oblivion Ring.
Oblivion Ring on your Deceiver Exarch.
There are no answers to that in this moment from Paul's deck. Oh, he's got Spell Pierce. My bad. He does have Spell Pierce. I forgot that the last guy did not have Spell Pierce. He just had Dispel.
Attention players, if you signed up for Standard Wdowiasz number 4, Standard Wdowiasz number 4, please come to the main event stage. Your event is ready. Standard Wdowiasz number 4.
And the Oblivion Ring resolves. Paul untaps, just 3 lands in play now.
The life total is just rapidly dropping here. Halimar depths from Paul Serignes. However you say that. Serignes.
Serignes.
Serignes. I like that. Serignes. Unless he's a study to Agrippa. We'll wait to see what else will happen besides Halimar depths from Paul here.
And another shrine here, I think. Yeah, there it is.
All right. We've got some more bravos. First of all, Mark, you picked up your stuff before, but we've got one more thing for you.
So Jonathan
Also,
now
Paul,
getting into the red zone again with the Splicer, the Hawk, and the 3/1 first strike Golem.
Grab your last little bit. Miles Boostman, Alex Simmons, Robert
Lavamancer now forced to block.
Greg Rocco come on up to the main event.
That is Paul forced to block with the Lavamancer, I think, at this point. Trying to make some decisions. So he declares a block and then activates the Lavamancer to kill a Hawk. Looks like he's just going to take 1 here. And another Squadron Hawk from Jonathan.
You know, I kind of feel like he should have... There were 2 opportunities for him to use the Grim Lavamancer earlier in the game that I think he should have taken advantage of. Right now, he'd be at 7 life as opposed to 4 life.
Yeah, it seemed like he was holding back on those Lavamancers when there were... didn't seem like a reason to.
I think he was doing the end of your turnitis. You know, it's best to do stuff at the end of the turn. And then, you know, he just didn't do it. You know, like...
Yeah.
Okay. Paul draws. Very little life left. It looks to me like he did not put a token on his Shrine of Piercing Visions, but he is required to, so...
Hopefully they notice that. It is not a May. Paul at a dangerously low life total here. Jonathan trying to figure out exactly how to get in that last bit of damage.
Here comes Deceiver Exarch.
Yeah, Shrine.
So you're going to see a mana leak there. Now remember how we were talking earlier about how Jonathan's game was coming out so quickly?
Yeah.
We've seen it just really slow down.
It really, yeah. At this point, like, I mean, he was down to 8 life in the blink of an eye. Well, Paul was down to 8 life in the blink of an eye, it seemed like, and then
Dispel for mana leak.
kind of stopped. So
Spell Pierce for the Dispel. Only 1 mana left for Paul, and it's not a blue mana. So unless he's got a Mental Misstep, which his main deck does not include, that's going to be a successfully countered chain there.
yeah,
And the batch unravels.
yeah.
To use
So-
magic terminology from before there was real magic
The
rules.
batch. So here we are. Now I think Jonathan can go to combat here. I think it was a yeah. There we go. So in with the team.
And now we're probably going to see a block here. Maybe on the big golem, and then a shoot.
I just realized I misunderstood last turn because he when I thought he had actually put the Lavamancer in front of the Golem and then shot the Hawk, but apparently he took back the block. He said, "No, I'm not blocking. I'm shooting a Hawk," and that's why he went to 4 life rather than staying at 7. He took the damage from the Golem, but he was able to keep the Lavamancer around. Now, looks like he's doing what I thought he was doing last turn, in blocking and shooting something else.
Now he's maintaining the same life total by sacking the land and shooting, as opposed to just, taking it. But he does stunt John's board a little tiny bit, which could be relevant. Now, right now, Paul, he's in danger. He needs a Deceiver Exarch during Jonathan's attack, or an Into the Royal to survive this turn. Preordain.
Attention players, we will be closing sign-ups for side events very soon. We need 6 more people for
Paul at 1
$10
life.
booster
All of his
packs.
fetch lands are
Please come on up.
dead cards now. They're just blanks.
We will be closing
In danger of
side event sign-ups.
losing to any number of those dudes on John's side of the board. What could he even be digging for at this point? Like, he can...
I mean,
An Exarch taps 1, blocks another, and he dies to the 3rd.
what he needs is a Exarch plus a Grim Lavamancer. Which is...
Yeah, that's... Grim Lavamancer was just basically going to be a chump block.
Yeah, exactly.
But
You ordered Bravo's Pizza. Dennis, please come to the main event stage.
alright, well... Paul must have something here. I don't know what, but he's letting Jonathan untap.
Tectonic Edge.
Play Tectonic Edge, not super relevant. I mean, at this point in the game, it can take out that Halimar Depths, but I mean, when you win this turn, why worry about it? So, there's an Exarch. 1 mana untapped for Paul. Tap your hawk.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Can I attack? I will unnecessarily show you into the royal.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll dispel that. Why not? I mean, maybe Paul's at 2 life, actually. Who knows?
They're trying to get the storm count up.
I mean, maybe he's at 2 life.
Yeah, I guess it's potential that the life totals are wrong. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it makes no sense what they're doing here.
Attack. Block.
Paul
Take
would-
1.
Okay, so maybe...
Yeah, you're dead. Okay.
All right. Well, that was...
Well, if this one goes to time...
We'll know that it has nothing to do with straightening up lands, but it has to do with kind of unnecessarily dragging out game 1. Wow, that was just game 1.
Yeah, that was just game 1. I mean, part of it is it feels like it was game 12 because we did just see this matchup.
That's the
so
thing.
it's the 4th game in a row we've seen.
Yeah. Well, sideboards. Again, we have flash freezes available. No mental missteps for Jonathan in his 75 at all. So.
I think Azure Mage is actually pretty effective. He can board in his 2nd Azure Mage. Spell Skite. He has the Skite.
He has the Skite that Jim Davis did not have.
Now, Paul also has Spell Skite. And Spell Skite is just very effective to defend the combo as well. I mean, laying down a Spell Skite means Dismember hits Spell Skite first. I could easily see that being a card that's chosen here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shatter from Paul. Shatter able to kill a Sword of Feast and Famine, able to kill a Inkmoth Nexus, and able to kill Spell Skite as well. So...
Yeah, the Hero Blade list, obviously, they won just a few weeks ago in the hands of Tim Piskowski, and it's kind of like a completely different direction for Callblade. Like, it looks similar a lot of times when you're playing, the same kind of mana base and Squadron Hawks and swords, but then it can be so much more aggressive with Blade Splicers and the Hero Blade Hold, of course, and so like there you have that dynamic, but on the other hand, you lose a lot of the controlling elements. Just 3 mana leaks.
Yeah.
He's got 2 Gideons, but I mean you just
only
kind of
2 Jaces.
Yeah.
Only 2 Gideons as opposed to the possibility of 3. As you say it, like it gives you a more aggressive tilt, but means you lose a little bit of flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonathan finishes sideboarding. Shuffling up.
So Paul has the missteps for Spell Pierces if he chooses to bring those in. Mutagenic growths for Dismembers. Did we see any Dismembers that game?
I believe we did. I could be wrong. I mean, it's bleeding together with the last match where we saw Dismember 3 times in a row. Like, the thing that's kind of interesting about this is the opportunities here for Paul to side in things. Spellskite, Jace Bellerin, Shatter, Mutagenic Growth, and Mental Misstep are all cards that are reasonable to consider. But he's certainly, I don't believe, going to board in 11 cards in this matchup. That seems like overkill.
It's interesting to see 2 Batterskulls in his sideboard. That's something that I don't think I've seen in a twin list before, or I'm sorry, Twin Blade probably played Batterskulls, but I mean, as far as like the post-banning Splinter Twin combo decks, Batterskull is kind of a surprise to see.
I mean, sometimes you see a secondary path to victory,
right.
And that's often a card
it's a
like
card, yeah.
Inferno Titan or Consecrated Sphinx or something like that. And here, his choice, Batterskull, very interesting. These guys are ready to duke it out. I mean,
They are.
they both finished
Adrian's
sideboarding.
swinging at me in the booth.
Sign up for $10 booster draft number 14. Please come to the main event stage. Your event is ready. And that is the last draft of the night. We are closing side events for the evening. Please come back tomorrow. We'll have all our fun things going on.
So you just heard the announcement over the speakers, the last draft of the night. But tomorrow we have our first of 2 draft challenges. These draft challenges are a really great thing to come to these Star City Games events with. If you don't think that Legacy is your thing, either you don't have the cards, you don't have a deck, you don't like the format because you're a crazy person, or you love drafting.
That's a good reason.
A lot of people, Shaheen Sarani, for example, he
won
got top.
4.
He's won quite a few. Is it 4 of them
I
that he's
think
won?
4 in a row.
He's like, I'm a good drafter. I'm gonna, I'm not gonna do this Legacy thing. I'm gonna draft. Get the first couple of lands here. We've got a second land coming now from Paul. Paul has mental misstepped the first turn preordained from Jonathan.
And Jonathan looks like he's going to go with a second turn preordain.
I think we might actually see a cast mental misstep here to stop that preordain. It's still on the stack, and Paul is fetching a blue. And I see it looks like a mental misstep in Jonathan's hand, ready for a mental misstep fight.
Jonathan, I don't think has mental missteps.
Spell Pierce.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he doesn't have mental misstep in the 75.
Okay. It was probably a Spell Pierce in his hand then.
Yeah, could have been something else, but he does have a spell Skite in his hand.
Paul,
which I did have in a catch. There's a spell
Ponder.
Pierce, so
new Ponder.
and he said,
Good
you're gonna
Ponder.
you're gonna pierce and misstep my 1-drops. I'm gonna pierce yours. So
I mean, this has stunted their mana development, it looks
it
like.
has. Look, so there's a spell Skite from Jonathan and an island. So
Ouch. Please add +1 combo pieces to your combo to win.
Yeah. And a preordain, which resolves. Finally, a cantrip resolves.
Yeah.
And Paul decides to keep them both on top. Jaws 1. Island. Go. Jonathan untaps his 3 lands with a spell Skite in play. Looks like he's got a Blade Splicer. Likely to hit play this turn. He's got another spell Skite. Does he make this... I mean, put the aggro on. I was going to say, go Blade Splicer. Don't worry about the
Splicer of the
spell Skite
Blade.
now. Put on some pressure.
And it comes out with a 3/3 Golem.
And go. All right, so Paul untaps his island. And passes the turn, no land drop. Does Jonathan have his 4th land drop? He does, well, not yet anyway. He does have a preordain. In with the Splicer and the Golem, so 4 damage into the red zone. Paul now going to 13. We have a preordain now being cast from Jonathan. There it is. Paul appears to be okay with the preordain, so there we go. We see a Celestial Colonnade and a Squadron Hawk. Jonathan now has a choice to make. Do I want to hit my land drop, or do I want to cast a Squadron Hawk and lose that Colonnade? I'm assuming he does not actually have his 4th land drop. We can see a Sword of Feast and Famine in hand, but I can't really tell what other 2 cards are in his hand. But he's got a decision right here between Colonnade and Squadron Hawk. He's leaving them both on top. Seems to make sense. Gets the Colonnade. I think that's a good call. Play the Colonnade. Leaves some mana up to at least to bluff a mana leak if you want.
Say go.
Yeah. Pass the turn. I agree with that. And now next turn he can draw and play the Squadron Hawk. Paul, I believe, should be at 13 now because he's misstepped, cracked a fetch, and took 4.
Oh, it says go. No land go.
Yeah, that's 2 turns in a row that Paul's missed his land drop. Now Jonathan has that Squadron Hawk. Looks like he was about to cast it pre-combat. I think he goes into the red zone. Splicer Golem combo. It's a tag team. And that should put Paul to 9. And here is the Squadron Hawk, as I mentioned. Searching up another little group of friends. 1 Hawk. I think, can he get all 3? 2 Hawks. Yeah, I think he's going for all 3. Or no, just 2. Okay.
1 left.
No, he goes all three. Okay, I was gonna say I think his hand was pretty low. I mean, unless he wanted to bluff that he had one and the other one in his hand, which I've seen people do before.
That's interesting.
Goes for
Seems
all
like there's
three.
very little cost to that in general if you're not expecting it to be fought over.
So here he has the option of leaving that mana open or just adding another hawk to the board, but.
Paul finally finds the. No, just fetching? Was that all he's fetching? The.
Yeah, he just fetched the mountain, unless he's going to Exarch here. I mean, is it possible Paul just next leveled all of us and has an Exarch and then is going to go with a twin? I mean, that doesn't matter, though. He's got Spellskite over there. Never mind. So, but he does have a land drop now.
Paul is in rough shape here.
Yeah, finally hitting his fourth land, but Jonathan's got board position, including a Spellskite, which is really gonna be a huge speed bump for Paul. I mean, at least at this point, with all this pressure available. So here comes a Deceiver Exarch, which I believe is coming down mid-combat here, not pre-combat. Makes sense.
I got him.
All right,
Block.
so Exarch blocks the gold, saving himself the most life there, but declining to actually kill off one of Jonathan's creatures. And we have 2 mana for a second Spellskite.
Okay. So this is known as the add +1 to your combo again, please.
Yeah.
And
In addition to your very slow mana development this game.
one of the ways that a lot of decks that are not traditionally actually able to beat combo can do that is just by saying, just have it be an extra piece. Like a 2-mana or a 2-card combo could be easy, but 3 cards is much harder, and 4 cards is an incredibly hard combo.
Yeah.
Right now, we've got a situation where it's the 4-card combo.
Yeah,
Do you have it?
he
Like,
needs- Now sometimes what those actual pieces are change, because if he has Exarch twin removal, he can take care of that Spellskite just fine. He could also have Exarch twin removal. Although that would probably be pretty bad. Actually, that wouldn't work either. We have an Into the Royal for a Spellskite.
so I wanted to see what it looked like.
And Ponder from Paul.
Pondering how he's going to get out of this alive.
Yeah. I mean, he bounced one Spellskite.
He's got a long way to go yet, though.
Yeah, it's not really, I don't know that that's getting him anywhere. I feel like unless he had, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Ponder again. Off the top,
Off
just
the
showing
top, yeah.
his opponent. Yeah, that was off the top. I'm still looking.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think about so many ways in which just the way to fight a combo deck sometimes for one strategy is just to make it more complicated to win. And meanwhile,
Right.
do
Spell
something
Strike
else.
does exactly that, yeah.
You know, and
He's got pressure and disruption in the form of Spellskite. So he's shuffling off of this ponder. And mana leak drawn by Jonathan. Going to make things just that much more difficult for Paul.
I mean, to my mind, the only way Paul is going to be able to win this game is if Jonathan steps up and punches the judge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to require punching the judge for Paul to win this game right
Paul
now.
may be able to mind trick Jonathan into doing something like that.
Round 3 pairings that was posted on the H to L board for Legacy Challenge players. Round 3 pairings are up on the H to L board.
Spellskite re-added to the board, of course.
Now,
So, Paul,
what you got, Paul? Here's your chance.
At 2 life.
What do we got there? Is that
Is
a
that Jace?
Jace?
Yeah, is that the manga Jace Beleren? I'm having trouble. It's got it's foiled. I think that's what it is.
Maybe what he can do with that is trick his opponent into attacking it.
Yeah, could be.
I mean,
He's going to say me or Jace.
I mean, he does have
Jace?
Arc Trail in his sideboard, which I don't think he should have boarded in. But never mind, Arc Trail doesn't do it, because even if there were no Spellskites in play, there's still too much damage.
Yeah. Well, what? Arc Trail would kill... It doesn't matter. He's got Spellskites.
Yeah, Spellskites. Oh, it would only be if he did not have the Spellskites in this imaginary world.
Right.
It would still only be enough to hit him for 1.
Right.
So, okay, and Jonathan takes it, beating Paul 2-0.
Yeah.
And that is the second game in a row where it looked very clearly like the Caw deck was going to win. Last time, Jim Davis ran out of time, but here, Jonathan takes it without running out of time. So we have a 2-0 win.